What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a new video. In this one, I'm going to be talking about my experience with Shopify dropshipping for the past 3 years or so. Now, why do I say 3 years when I made my 2-year update like 10 months ago? Because I'm not even sure myself what to say, how long I've been doing it, because I got into Shopify dropshipping in late 2017, but I only started doing it in like 2019, and my first real success was in like 2020. So I don't even know how long it's been myself. I don't know what to say when someone asks me like when I started. If you want to count me watching videos about it but not actually doing it for 2 years, then I guess it would be 5 years. So I'll just say roughly 3 years for the sake of the title, so the video makes more sense. And yeah, that being said, let's go straight into the video. All right, so before I get into the video, I just want to say that Shopify is doing a trial where you can get 3 months for $1 each. So if you're planning on starting a Shopify store soon, use that and make sure you use it as soon as you can, because I don't know how long it's going to be available. So I just thought I'd get that out of the way before we begin, and let's move on into my story. So first of all, my first ever video was my 6-month experience for dropshipping. So if you guys haven't watched that video, you can go back to my channel, go into the oldest video and watch that first. I also made an update on 2 years, so that was posted like 10 months ago. So if you want to check that out as well, you can watch that too, or you can watch that after this video. It really doesn't matter. But in this video, I'll be going over the part from 2 years to 3 years kind of. So if you're interested in anything else, you can go back and watch the older videos. All right, so first of all, I know a lot of you guys are interested in the results, and I will show you guys some results later in the video, but I won't be showing you guys exactly how much money I'm making or how much I'm profiting exactly, because sure, I do have a YouTube channel, but I'm a normal guy. I don't want people knowing exactly how much money I'm making, whether it's friends or people I don't know or you know who. But I'll show you guys some results and I'll explain how my life looks so you can roughly see how much I'm making, or if dropshipping is something that would be worth your time or something that you'd like to get into. So first of all, since my last update video, which was like 10 months ago, not much has changed. I mean, I'm making more money, but my life has been pretty similar. Like, I had a decent amount of money back then. I could buy whatever I wanted to. I wasn't really missing out on anything, and I'm still not missing out on anything. I can still buy whatever I want. I can travel wherever I want. I can do whatever. So like, not much has changed in that sense. I can eat out every single day if I want to, for every meal. I can buy clothes. I could buy cars, you know, whatever I wanted to. I just don't spend much. I'm pretty frugal, and I don't really have any materialistic wants or needs or whatever. I like making money, and I'm not stingy. I don't mind spending money. I just don't really need anything special. Like, I've moved out, I guess that's like a cool thing. I've actually moved out twice since the last video. So now I'm living in a different city in a way nicer apartment, and I mean, I've liked it so far. I enjoy it, and apart from that, I haven't really been spending much money. So yeah, I don't really know what to tell you guys because I just haven't been spending much. But yeah, in terms of the car, the thing that sucks is I have a learner's license, and that is not because I'm an idiot and I only got my license like last year. I actually got my license like 3 years ago. It's just that I got my license at 17, and Serbia has a law where your learner's license lasts until you're 21, and it limits you on which cars you can drive, like how much horsepower and stuff. So I bought my car like more than a year ago, and I've only driven it like a little bit. So although I've had the car, I haven't really enjoyed it much. It's sitting in the garage and it sucks to see it, but I legally can't drive it. So I'm waiting on turning 21, and then I'm going to start enjoying the car a bit more, and then maybe buy some other cars as well. But apart from cars and apart from like living in a nice place, I don't really see what else I should be spending my money on, or what I could be spending my money on. I don't really enjoy clothes too much. Like, it's nice to have, but it's not really my priority. I don't really care too much about clothes. And apart from that, I don't really know what else to tell you guys when it comes to money. But yeah, I'm financially free. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I don't have a boss. I don't have working hours. I can work whenever I want, however much I want, and I make good money so that I can do whatever and I don't have to worry about running out of money ever. So I think that will be basically when it comes to money. Now, I know a lot of you guys are not watching this video just to see like what I've been up to. You want to see if dropshipping is a thing that you should get into and if it would be worth your time. So when it comes to expectations and how much you can expect to earn and how quickly and stuff like that, how much work you'll have to put in, I want to give you guys more info on that so you guys can kind of decide and see if it's something that would be good for you. So first of all, how much money can you make from dropshipping? And the answer is as boring as it can get, but it's unlimited, and there is no guarantees that you'll make money or that you'll lose money or how much you will make or how quickly. It very much varies from person to person. It can take you a long time if you don't know what you're doing. If you're trying to do it all yourself and you're not learning from anyone, you don't have any plan you're following, you're just kind of going randomly at it, it can take you years, and there's no guarantee you'll succeed. So you might just waste a lot of money and not do anything. And unfortunately, that's what happens for most people, because the reality is like 5 to 10% of people are successful, the rest always fails. So if you want to make sure you're not in that 90% that fails, you have to make sure you have a plan. You're doing what you need to be doing. You know what you're doing. You know, you're following a proven strategy that works, and you're not just trying to test things out yourself. I'm not saying you can't succeed if you're doing things on your own. It's just that that's how life works. If you're trying to prepare food and you don't have a recipe, it's going to be a disaster. If you have a recipe you're following, it's going to take you like an hour or two and you'll be done. So it's not about how much effort you're putting in. It's about putting that effort into the correct places and correct things and knowing that you're doing things right. And that's what's going to bring you the most results in the the shortest time frame. Now, you might be wondering what you should be putting your effort into, and some of the most common misconceptions beginners have is that you need to choose a specific product, otherwise you're not going to succeed. Although that's true to some extent, it goes beyond the product. It's not just about having the right product, it's about knowing how to advertise it, how to present it, where to present it, you know, whether you should be doing Facebook ads or TikTok ads or organic marketing or whatever it is. You need to kind of have an understanding of how things work, and you need to have some sort of plan with what you're going to do with the products that you're trying to test. Now, the second reason why most people fail is they give up way too quickly. Most people will test like one product and then they'll give up and that's it. They'll consider their dropshipping career a failure after testing one product, or actually most people don't even test a single product. So if you want to be ahead of the majority, you just have to test like a product or two. Like, it's really not hard. I know you guys have been watching a bunch of YouTube videos and you feel overwhelmed and you think it's too hard, but believe me, once you test one product and you start getting a sale or two here and there, even if you're not making a bunch of money, you're just getting some sales here and there, you'll realize how easy it is and how much you've been putting it off and procrastinating for no reason. And it's a lot easier to make money than you thought it was. So my best advice to beginners is learn from someone who knows what they're doing, be consistent, give it like a couple of months of work. Don't be constantly trying to do like 5 different business models at the same time. Stick to one and focus on it for a couple of months, and don't give up. Just keep going, keep testing, start taking action as soon as you can, and be consistent. And like, trust me, in a couple of months, you'll be amazed with how far you'll come. All right, so I said I'll show you guys some of the results later on in the video. So I think now is a pretty decent time. And this is one of my stores from October the 26th till yesterday. I haven't actually put in today because it's a small day, like it's just started. So yeah, it's done $119,000. I won't tell you guys how much is profit. Again, I don't want people knowing exactly how much money I'm making, but if you understand dropshipping, you kind of know what the profit could be. And yeah, just to make sure you guys actually like trust me, I'll reload the page so you can see it's all legit. And no cuts right here. I'll just make sure you can see the entire process. It's loading, and here we go. That's it. So yeah, it's all legit. 120k in like a month and 10 days, so like 40 days. And yeah, is this good money? I think it is. I think it's great. Are there people that are making more money? For sure, there's always people making more money than you. So no matter how high you scale, there's always going to be someone above you, and that's beautiful because there is no limit. Like, this store could be doing $1 million. Like, there's nothing stopping this store from doing $1 million like in 40 days. So I am working towards scaling it up, of course, but you know, don't let this number limit you, and don't consider yourself successful once you get to a certain point. I mean, realistically, I know I'm statistically like successful, but I don't feel like I'm super successful or anything. I know there's people making a bunch more money, and I'm always aiming at making more and more. So always be aiming higher and never get comfortable with where you're at. Now, something I wanted to mention that I think would help a lot of you guys is actually one app that I've used for this store, and it's an upsell app. So it's like a post-purchase upsell. So when someone purchases something on your store, it basically offers them something else. And the beauty of this app is it's a one-click upsell. So it's not like someone purchases something and then you offer them something else and now they have to enter their details once again. They actually just click once and it charges their card instantly. So it's incredible for making a lot of extra money. And the beautiful thing about it is it doesn't cost you anything. So if you're just getting started, or especially if you have a store that's already doing some numbers, make sure you have a post-purchase upsell app installed. This one's called CardX. The reason I prefer this one to other ones is because it's the cheapest one on the market and it gives you the most flexibility. It's the easiest to use in my opinion, and the upsells actually look great. And as you can see, it's made me more than $10,000, almost $11,000 in this store, which is amazing because this is almost pure profit. There's no cost on this apart from the product cost. If you're already paying for ads or something, having an app like this really helps because it makes it easier to stay profitable and start making more and more money. So to explain this a little bit better for the beginners, let's say you're doing like 10k in revenue and your profit is 1,000, which would be very bad margins, by the way. I'm just using it as an example. If you install an app like this and it makes you an extra $1,000, your profit across the entire store literally goes from $1,000 to $2,000. That's literally like 2xing your profit from just installing an app. So make sure you always have an upsell app. I don't want to show you guys the exact funnels because I don't want to reveal the products, but you would basically click on funnels and then click add funnel, and it's super self-explanatory. The app is amazing. Plus it's the cheapest app on the market, which I like. So yeah, once you do start making money, or even if you're just getting started, make sure to have an app like this on your store. Then also another really helpful app if you guys are doing Facebook ads is Pixelio. This makes it so you don't have to connect your Facebook account to Facebook. You can just click add pixel and basically just paste your pixel in here, give it a name, choose a collection if you want to. And if you want to have Conversions API enabled, you can just click here and insert the access token and test events code and click add, and that's it. So if you ever run into any issues with your pixel, you can just add another one here and start advertising from either a different ad account or maybe on the same one. So yeah, those are some apps that I think would be very helpful for you guys. And apart from that, you don't need that many apps. Like, you want to have a post-purchase upsell. If you're running ads, you want to have a Facebook pixel app, and you want to have a sticky add to cart because that really helps increase your conversion rates. And don't overthink which app you use for the sticky add to cart. You can use whichever one, as long as it looks good and it actually works. Just get one that's free and that's it. Now that I've showed you guys some results, I want to go back to kind of like some beginner advice and how my life has changed. So first of all, I want to talk about how my life has changed in terms of like, you know, how people treat me or how people see me and stuff like that. And I have to say, I haven't noticed too much of a difference. Although I'm pretty low key and I don't really brag much, or I don't really show off much or anything. So for that reason, I feel like it hasn't really affected my relationships and how people see me much. Obviously, it's had some sort of effect. It just hasn't been as drastic as you would expect based on like videos from people talking about how people only care about money and stuff like that. Maybe it's just because I keep a pretty small circle and I hang out with people that are actually like good people. But yeah, if you're expecting to make a bunch of money and then have everyone look at you differently, it does happen. I just think it depends on who you're hanging around with and who your friends are. So if you want to have friends that are only with you because of money, I think you can find them. I just personally stay away from those kind of people. So when it comes to that, I think it very much varies from person to person, and it depends on what you do, and it depends on who you hang around with and who you are as a person. But yeah, that'll be basically it on that. Now, I also wanted to go over how dropshipping has changed over the past like 4 or 5 years and kind of explain to you guys the differences and what you should be focusing on now, what works now, etc. So when I first got into dropshipping, it was all about selling like lion bracelets on Instagram pages on shoutouts. So that was long ago, and that definitely doesn't work anymore. Those were some better times for sure, but just because things have changed, it doesn't mean it's any more difficult now. It's just about knowing what you're doing. So back in the day, you were able to just put up a very basic general store and just start testing any sorts of products on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And Facebook was a lot easier to do because there wasn't as many bans or problems with that. And dropshipping has had an interesting evolution. So when I first got into it, it was so easy to get into. Like you could have just had the worst store ever, the worst products, just paid for like a shout out on Instagram and just made a bunch of money. And then TikTok and short form content became a thing. And now it's almost as easy as it was like 5 years ago, which is pretty crazy because it's become a lot more popular. There's definitely a lot more competition, but most people that are in it are lazy. They're not really actually doing anything. And the ones that are, most of them don't know what they're doing. So as long as you're not lazy and you know what you're doing, it's really not that hard to succeed at all. So because of that, I would say the best opportunity for beginners in 2022 and 2023 is to start off with organic marketing, whether it's on TikTok or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, Pinterest, Snapchat, or all of them together, which is always the best. Just order a product to your house and start filming content for it and start posting it on social media. Just short form TikTok style content and just start posting it everywhere you can and start plugging your link to your store everywhere you can. And be patient, give it like a month or two and just keep improving at your video quality. Like the video quality is very important. The quantity is not as important as the quality, because if you can film an incredible video, it can go viral. But if you post a bunch of mediocre videos, most likely none of them are going to go viral. So really focus on the quality, really focus on posting like 1 to 3 times a day and be consistent for a couple of months. And first of all, you'll learn the skill of filming good video ads, which is the most important skill when it comes to dropshipping. But not only that, you're actually going to start making money, and then you'll be able to use that money to reinvest into either your education or advertising or some other business or whatever it is you want to invest in. Right now is a better time to get into dropshipping than it has been for the past couple of years, and it's way easier than it was before. And it's also effectively free because you don't have to pay for ads anymore. You just basically have to order a product and start filming content yourself, and then you start making money from that, and you can then reinvest that into everything else. So the only expenses you really have are paying the Shopify subscription and ordering a product to your house, maybe a domain as well, and that's it. You can just get started with maybe like $100 or so, or if you have absolutely $0, there's still a method for you to get started. I actually filmed a video on it a couple of videos back, so you can check that out as well. And yeah, I don't think it's ever been easier, and I don't think it's ever gonna get easier than this. So if you're thinking about getting into dropshipping, get into it now. Stop procrastinating and just get started. Maybe you'll fail for the first couple of months, but once you start seeing some success, there's no going back. You'll see how good it is and how easy it is, and I promise you won't be thinking about quitting later on. So just get started as soon as you can and stick to it. Also, another thing I wanted to go over is dropshipping dying and when it's gonna die, how long will we have, and stuff like that. So first of all, dropshipping is never gonna die. Dropshipping is not some magical business model on the internet that's just gonna die one day and it's gonna be gone. All dropshipping is selling a product that you don't own and then shipping it out to a customer. You can do this through Shopify. You can go up to people in real life and offer them products and then ship it out to their address. Like, the concept itself is never gonna die. Now, is dropshipping on Shopify gonna die one day? Most likely not. I don't think it ever will, because all Shopify is just a platform for you to host your products on. And unless Shopify forbids dropshipping, which I don't think they're ever gonna do because it's making them so much money, dropshipping can't ever really die. So if you ever see a video from some YouTuber saying dropshipping is dying and stuff like that, they're lying to you. Or if you watch the video, they'll actually tell you that it's not dying, it's just clickbait. So there have been those types of videos 5 years ago when I was getting started, and just imagine you started 5 years ago. Like right now, you think 5 years ago was super easy, but back then I was watching videos on Shopify dropshipping dying, and back in 2017, I legitimately thought that dropshipping was gonna be around for maybe like a year or two max, if not a couple of months, and now it's still around, and I still think it's gonna be around for decades probably, so it can't ever die out, and it didn't start in 2017. Dropshipping has been a thing for decades probably, so don't think it's gonna die, don't think it's something that's gonna be around for a couple of months. It's gonna be here for who knows how long, probably forever, because I don't really see what could happen that would kill dropshipping completely. Now, what does change in dropshipping is tactics. So like 5 years ago, you were able to just advertise on Instagram pages and Facebook easily and stuff like that. Nowadays, Facebook is a lot harder to get into. Instagram pages are a lot more saturated, but now we have TikTok and TikTok ads and influencers and stuff like that. So that is not to say that Facebook doesn't work. Of course it does. And that is also not to say that Instagram pages pages don't work anymore. It all works. It's just currently it's easier to get started on TikTok or organic marketing as opposed to like Instagram meme pages or Facebook ads. So as long as you're keeping up with the industry and you're seeing what's changing and what's new, you can always make sure you're making money and staying profitable in dropshipping. And I assure you it's never gonna die. It's just the tactics are gonna shift a little bit here and there, so you have to keep up with them. But other than that, it's always gonna be the same. Another thing about dropshipping changing is you'll see people telling you how you have to use ClickFunnels instead of Shopify, or how general stores don't work anymore, or how you only need to use one product stores. And none of that is true. You can still use a general store just fine. Your store name doesn't matter much. Your store design matters, but it doesn't matter nearly as much as you think it does. And overall, most things that beginners think matter don't really matter that much. The only things that really matter are your advertising, your product selection, and your marketing. So if you can get good at those three, you can pretty much get everything else wrong, just not too wrong, and you can still make money. So do not think that if you had a typo in your description, that's why your product didn't work out, or if your store has Powered by Shopify on it, that's why your products are not working out. None of that is ever the case. It's always your marketing is either bad, or your product is bad, or you're just targeting an audience that's not interested in the product. So apart from those major mistakes, my best advice would be, once again, to just get started as fast as possible, stick to it, be consistent, and don't give up. And I assure you, you'll start seeing success pretty quickly. I think that would be basically it when it comes to my advice and my story so far. I'm still making good money. I don't really have anything to update you guys on because things have just been consistently going well. So I don't want to be filming these videos every couple of months just telling you guys that I moved apartments. So I'm not sure when I'll be filming the next update, but probably in like 6 months to a year. So until then, this is going to be the latest update on my life. Once again, if any of you guys are starting a new store, use the Shopify trial in the description. It's going to give you 3 months for $1, which is incredible if you're just getting started, and especially for a lower budget. And if any of you guys want to learn directly from me, I have a mentorship program that I'll link down below. I made it as cheap as I could. It's only $50, and you get to learn everything directly from me. You get my course, you get a store created by my team, you get access to my Discord community, and every single week we go on group calls where you can ask me whatever you want. And I truly believe this is the best program on the market, regardless of the price. I priced it low because I know most people don't have the money to buy something that's like $1,000, so it's only $50, and you guys can find out more about that in the link in the description. And yeah, I'd say that's pretty much it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.